Hi, in this video we are going to look at the top 10 programming languages in 2019. As we all know, the world is becoming smarter day by day with rapid development of automation, artificial intelligence, blockchain, data science, machine learning, and many other technologies, right? These days everybody is talking about these technologies. And out of these technologies are programming languages. So deciding which programming language to learn will impact your career and the types of jobs that you land up. That's why it is important for us to understand what are the top 10 programming languages in the year 2019. Now, before discussing each of those details, let us see the trends that are being posted by different surveys. And the recent survey, which is posted in 2019 September, so it clearly says that Python is leading compared to any other programming language. Compared to the last year, the percentage of Python projects has increased by almost 4.6%, whereas the Java projects percentage is coming down. Now, if you carefully look at, there are only few languages which are picking up compared to the other programming languages. For example, when it comes to C++, there is almost no change. It's minus 0.4%, but we can treat it as almost same. But especially the Java projects percentage is coming down, whereas it is when it comes to the Python, almost a 5% increase in the number of projects worldwide. It indicates that we are going to get more jobs in Python, and at the same time, and other areas, for example, Java, C#, whichever has the negative trend. That means people are moving from Java and other languages to Python or any other, whichever has the positive trend, right? Now, among these, we can clearly see that among the top 10 programming languages in the 2019, the first one is Python. And just on that, generally there are a lot of surveys people came up with, but most of them almost came up with a similar kind of pattern, where the Python is the leading programming language of the year 2019 and followed by other. So according to one of the surveys, these are the list of top 10 programming languages which people are looking for in the year 2019. So it is not stable. Just keep in mind that just this is only for 2019. Maybe 2020 or 21 things might change, but this is for now. So based on these statistics, we can decide which programming language to learn, and based on that you can get better chances of getting the jobs. Now let us see the one by one, actually, why people are running behind Python. So we all know, right? So Python is the fastest growing programming language, and the main important thing about the Python is its code readability. So there are a lot of features about Python, like it is open source, and there are a lot of open source modules which we can use with a large community development. And also the main thing about Python is it has a lot of libraries, especially for the web services and UI applications, desktop UI applications. Because of all this, and it is also one of the most preferred language in the fields of data science, statistics, analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence, with R as its only real competition. So I mean, people are either using Python or R for most of these data science analytics projects. And the reasons for demand for Python is especially like there are like many web development frameworks which Python has, especially like Django, Pyramid, TurboGate. They are very easy to learn, and it has a lot of rich features which people can use to develop the web applications. And also when it comes to the computing, machine learning, data science, there are other packages like NumPy, SciPy, which are commonly being used by a lot of people who are working on those areas. Similarly, people are using in the deep learning, machine learning, and because the writing code in Python is so easy, that's why people are preferring that. And another thing is, people who are having these Python skills, In general, they are getting more packages compared to the other developers like Java or any JavaScript or any other developers. So there are a lot of surveys being done by SurveyMonkey and Quora, Mozilla, and a lot of people have done a lot of surveys. And most of them came up with a survey that Python is the leading language of the year 2019. And as we have seen, the main reason for the Python pickup is like it is being used in most of the ongoing trends and technologies, especially data science, analytics, statistics, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and all. And in the list, the second most preferred language is still Java. It is not compulsory that it is not compulsory that you have to agree with me, but the general trend, because already Java is being used in a lot of projects, at least for some years it might continue. As we all know, right, Java is owned by Oracle now, and it is one of the oldest and common in-demand programming languages that is still in use by a lot of projects. Because it is highly likely that Java plays a huge role in the code that makes them work. And another important factor which has kept Java's magic intact among with the web development companies is it's independent from the platforms, right? So that helps developers to especially write once and work anywhere feature. So I mean, there are a lot of other good features. It's not like Python is good when compared with the Java, but when it comes to the Python, it is easy to write the code. And for newbies and who are new to programming, they can learn Python easily compared to the Java. That's why these days people are preferring little more when Python when compared with the Java. So again, Java has its own advantages, like it has scalability, portability features across multiple platforms, and it is already being used in a lot of devices. For example, almost 3 billion devices are using the Python's frameworks. Like it has a lot of frameworks like Spring, Struts, Hibernates, and they were also very popular. And 90% of another statistic says that 90% of the Fortune 500 companies uses Java for building applications and backend systems, and millions of users across the globe people use. There are a lot of people who use Java, including Amazon, IBM, Google, and a lot of people. And the developer community of Java is also very high because it was the leading language since long. And now actually these are the two major languages which a lot of people are going with. But since recently a lot of people are talking about these data science and other things, so that's why people are looking after Python when compared to the Java. But because of the past presence of the Java, still Java is leading as a second language. And now one of the important language is JavaScript. So a lot of people uses JavaScript along with the HTML, CSS, and other. JavaScript is the programming language that builds the internet, right? So a lot of companies you need the web development stuff, so it is a pretty big deal. Universally, actually, the language of web developers. JavaScript is the language of the web developers, and it has a lot of feature-rich object-oriented scripting language. And the main stuff for the Java script is it has more accessible supporting technologies like especially JSON, jQuery, AngularJS, React.js, etc. There are, I mean, fundamentally a front-end language that can also be practiced on server side throughout the Node.js to create the scalable network applications, right? So majority of these tech giants like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Gmail, a lot of people like YouTube, earlier they used to rely on the JavaScripts while displaying the pop-ups on the YouTube channel or web pages or dynamically to display the content. So JavaScript is still being used by a lot of community people. Because most of the projects were related to web, or because of that the community is little bigger. When it comes to the average salary, it is around 1.1k US dollars for anyone who has the JavaScript developer knowledge. And in the list, the next one is fifth. So we all know, right? The other language, it was developed actually by Apple in 2014. It is a again open source language and general purpose language, and it is actually was developed as an alternative to Object-C language to write applications, especially for iOS and Mac. It has Python and Ruby packed on it. So it was actually designed to be beginner friendly, like whoever are new to learning programming, they can easily go with Swift. And the main reason for Swift is it needs very less code to get the things done. So hence it becomes easier for existing techies who are from JavaScript, Java or Python, C# or C++ to shift to Swift. So that because they know how to write the code in Java, C#, C++. So it is easy for them to easily write the code and very quick. And also actually there are very good features in the Swift. There are very good readability is there, speed and dynamic libraries. There are a lot of libraries which Swift has, and also with very less user errors. There are majorly two frameworks for the Swift, majorly what we call them as Cocoa and Cocoa Touch, which are centered around the application development. So majorly it is used in iOS applications as because it was developed by Apple. And in the next the list one, that is a Go language. Again it is developed by tech giant Google. It is one of the latest players in the programming language. It is again open source, and also actually it combines the features of other languages. It is almost very much similar to the C++. People who are comfortable with C++, they can easily go with Go language. And it is very much optimized because Go language, they have removed some features from C language, and at the same time they added a few more features to get the things done easily. And they have the good performance very much similar to the C++, and at the same time concurrency handling of Java also included in Go language. It's kind of they added best features of C++ and Java. And it also supports multi-threading and all the remaining stuff, because they have developed Go language especially for the Docker orchestration engines like Kubernetes. So it is being used in a lot of projects whoever are into the cloud computing, especially Kubernetes, Docker, huge Hyperledger, blockchain, and others. So these projects, people actually, for example, if you look at IBM, they have the Bluemix. Most of their code is in Go language because the backend is Kubernetes. So whichever companies uses Kubernetes as their orchestration engines or cloud computing backend, they will go for the Go language most of the time. And in the next, in the list, the next one is C#. Again, everybody knows, right? It was developed by Microsoft, and it based on the .NET framework. And it is, whoever has Java knowledge, they can easily go with C#. So again, the C# has a lot of libraries which are easy to use, and it is used in the back-end operations of several popular websites like Bing, Dell, Visual Studio, MarketWatch, and many others. So they also have a lot of .NET frameworks like Xamarin, and mainly for the gaming development and applications development. And actually, majorly the C# is a recommended language for building video games, 2D, especially 2D and 3D language games. And in the list, the next one is C++. As you know that C++ is the sequence to the C. and it is in the pioneer of many modern words languages, because people who are actually even the graduates, bachelors, everybody initially starts with the C, C++ just to get the fundamentals of computer science. Actually, majorly the C, C++ is being recommended, and also actually it is in high demand due to its performance, because it supports a lot of system calls, so that we can directly work with system resource like CPU, memory, and other things. And also provide, it has a lot of good libraries to work with the UI, especially like Qt libraries, widgets, XXX widgets, GTK libraries, so that people who are trying to work with a graphical user interface or GUIs, they can use those packages, and they can come up with the applications. And also it is being used in many other applications, like Adobe Photoshop is being developed by C, C++, Google Chrome, MapReduce, Mozilla, all these rock stars in the past were developed by C, C++ because of its performance. And many companies, especially who needs the system resources, who needs to work with system resources, like especially Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, who they need the C, C++ guys, because they have the standalone applications which takes the current system CPU resources. And since C++ supports those features, those companies looks for C, C++ developers. So people who are having this knowledge, especially, has a lot of chances to get into those product companies which needs performance related stuff. And in the list, the next one is Scala language. It is one of the popular language recently. It is a functional language and also object-oriented language. So it's is one of the main attempts. Actually, it tries to rewrite Java while improving its drawbacks. So Scala was developed to fix the issues of Java by adding some new features, especially like comparisons and pattern matching and mixins. There are a lot of features which are being added to Scala, and it is open source, very much similar to the Java. And it is actually very versatile, allowing it because Scala has a lot of web application support. Mobile solutions are being developed with Scala, and a lot of tech giants like Apple, LinkedIn, Twitter are using Scala in their projects. And in the list, the next one is Kotlin language. Again, it is a Google endorsed cross-platform language. That means the Google funded them. It has become a most loved programming language among developers, according to Stack Overflow survey, recent survey. And its main reason for its popularity is it is compatible with Android Studio. So in 2017, Google declared Kotlin as its official language for Android development. So people who are working in Androids and applications, mostly they will use the Kotlin language. So since the Android community is big, so the Kotlin language also being used by a lot of people, and people who are having this skill, they have good salary of around 1.25k in that space. And in the list, the last one is Ruby language. This is also very popular language. Actually, it was developed in Japan in 1990s around. It is a dynamic language which is constructed with the aim of simplifying the programming task. So our objective is to reduce the Ruby's objective is to reduce the programming time or coding time. So it is very easy to learn, straightforward, and it is very easy to write web applications with Ruby. So there are a lot of companies which are using Ruby, including Crunchbase, Shopify. All the Shopify applications were being developed with Ruby. Amazon also uses Ruby for some of their websites. GitHub is using Ruby. Twitter was using Ruby. So there are a lot of companies which were using Ruby. And since it is open source, There are many frameworks as well which came to help the community to develop the applications easily. Actually, it is more popular because it can be treated as all-purpose programming language because it supports a lot of stuff which we can do with Ruby. Okay, so these are all. With this, I hope you understood the top 10 programming languages of the year, and among them, the Python is the leading one for the year 2019. So another important thing is while developing Python, it has a lot of compatibility with other. For example, if you have the knowledge of C, C++, and if you are trying to learn Python, if you already have some APIs developed in C, C++ or Java or any other language, you can easily call them from Python. So there is a lot of compatibility. So that is another reason for picking up Python for many of the projects. So I hope this might have given the clarity for you to select which language is the best one to go with. So according to the recent surveys, Python is the winner for the year 2019. So just keep in mind. So just the final word is Python is very easy to learn, and since it is being picked up by a lot of ongoing technologies, especially data science, analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and others. So Python is the leading programming languages as of now.